15. Violet. Violet woke, and a man was sitting on her bed. "Hi," he said. She scrambled away, pulling the blankets with her. "Who are you?" "I'm a friend of Hack's, but he didn't say anything about you. Are you his girlfriend?" He sat down on the bed. "You have nice shoulders. Where's Hack?" "He went for a walk." The man's face was smooth. His suit was dark and anonymous. "He won't be back for a while. Please leave." "But Hack invited me in. What's your name?" "I want you to go." "I'm John Nike," he smiled, his teeth gleaming faintly in the gloom. "Who are you?" "Violet." "Violet who?" He shifted closer. "Are you unemployed?" "It's all right. It happens sometimes. I'll tell you what, unemployed Violet. I'll give you $100 for a kiss." She tightened her grip on the blankets. "Get out, now." He raised his eyebrows. "That's pretty generous, considering you're in no position to negotiate." His hand touched her thigh. "Let go of me." "You need to be enterprising to get ahead, Violet. You need to take advantage of opportunities," he squeezed. She reached for his hand. He grabbed her wrists and pinned them to the wall. The blanket dropped. "Whew," he said, looking down. "Those are nice puppies." She bit his ear as hard as she could. "Ah, G.D." She rolled off the bed, landing on her hands and knees. She scrambled to her feet and ran. She had the front door half unlocked before she realized just how bad an idea that was, running naked at night through his neighborhood. She ran into the kitchen and began pulling open drawers. "You little bee," John said, entering. "If I need cosmetic surgery, you're going to pay for it." She found a knife, a long one. "Stay away from me." "I don't think so, unemployed Violet." He edged closer, watching the knife. "I don't think you want to get in any more trouble than you already are." "You attacked me?" she said, and he grabbed her wrist and slammed it into the kitchen bench. She cried out. The knife clattered to the floor. There was a crumpet toaster on the bench, a shiny, heavy thing Hack had bought her for her last birthday. It had variable-sized slots for different bread and an auto-sensor so it never burnt. Violet grabbed it with both hands and swung it at John's face. It rang like a bell. John dropped to the floor. He didn't move. Violet peered at him. He didn't seem to be breathing. After a moment she prodded him with her foot. "Are you—" He grabbed her ankle. She fell backward and banged her head against the stove. His hands clutched at her legs. She shrieked and flailed at him with the crumpet toaster. She cracked his knuckles and hit her own knee. She slammed the toaster on his hands, his head, his face, until she realized he'd stopped moving again. He hadn't been moving for a while. She pulled herself out from under him, breathing heavily. John was limp. She looked at the toaster. There were spots of blood on it. She dropped the toaster and circled around his body. She shut the kitchen door and went into the bedroom, pulled on a t-shirt and pants, and sat on the bed. After a while she started to bite her nails. She thought she may have just done something terrible. 16. Hack. "You sure we shouldn't drive?" John said. There were some teenagers across the road listening to loud music. "It's just up here," Hack said. "Why do you even live here? How much are you earning at Nike?" About 33. "What's the matter with you?" John said. I guess I'm not very good in pay negotiations," Hack said. Hack sucked in pay negotiations. Every year his boss sat him down and talked about competitive pressures and budget cuts. At the end, he named a figure and Hack took it, grateful to still be employed. "There are courses you can do. Assertiveness training. You should look into it. Is this it?" Hack looked up, the police swirling blue-eyed. "Yes." John straightened his tie. "Now this is what you're going to do. You go in, you ask for whoever talked to last time, you establish exactly how many other links in the chain there are, then you leave, nothing else." "Okay," Hack said. They went in. The same music every breath you take was playing. That must get pretty annoying, Hack thought. "Can I speak to Sergeant Parson, please?" "Clearly, sir." "Sorry, certainly, sir." It was the same receptionist. She smiled at him. "Your name?" "Hack Nike." She looked at John. "And?" "A friend," John said. The receptionist eyeballed him. She was friendly so long as you didn't mess with her, Hack realized. "Take a seat." They sat. "Your real name?" John whispered. Hack said nothing. He was thinking about Violet at home with the other John. Pearson didn't keep them waiting. Within a minute, he strode into the lobby. He was a real presence, Pearson, Hack thought. Pearson commanded respect. "Hack, glad to see you. Right this way." He led them into the same meeting room. "What can I do for you?" Hack said. "I'm here to talk about the job." "Uh-huh." Pearson raised his eyebrows at John. "I know about it," John said. Yeah, he does," Hack said. "I just want to ask who, gave the job to." Pearson was silent. "Are you happy with the results, Hack?" "Happy," he said, and almost laughed. Sure, I guess. This was a significant enterprise." "I'm not sure if you appreciate the complexity of the assignment. The pricing we offered was extremely generous. I'm sure I just want to know about the subcontracting. I see, Pearson said. You knew we reserved the right to do that, right? Well, I guess. I mean, it doesn't matter if the NRA actually did it. I just wanted to know. Pearson's eyebrow shot up. What makes you think it was the NRA work? Oh, Hack glared at John, who looked disgusted. I just thought. Did you? Pearson said. Well, that's very interesting guess, Hack, because as we discussed, we treat our business associations with the utmost confidence. The utmost confidence. That's what I want to talk about. I want to know if there were any other, business associates besides the NRA. Pearson folded his hands neatly. In our line of work, Hack, discretion is critical. I'm surprised you don't know this already. Did I give you a brochure? I'll give you a brochure. We have safeguards in place to protect your confidentiality. They are incontrovertible. Okay, Hack said. But I see. You want additional assurance, Pearson said, which, given the nature of the job, I can understand very well. I can inform you that the directive passed directly from us to a third party who carried out the work. No intermediaries were involved. Right, Hack said, relieved. Okay, well, thanks. I hope you appreciate the magnitude of what we've accomplished here, Hack. You will remember that when you make your monthly payments. Yes, Sergeant Pearson. Senior Sergeant Pearson, Pearson said. John was upbeat on the walk home from the police. They're a very focused organization, all right. John was 100% right about that. Uh-huh, Hack sighed. He was thinking about Violet again. John peered at the brochure. Each case has a single contact. Everything's encrypted so employees can't tell what their colleagues are working on. Even management can only access job numbers, not names. And it's the largest Australian-based company in the world. Did you know that? No. You want to know why Americans took over the world, Hack? Because they respect achievement. Before this was a USA country. Our ideal was the working-class battler. If Australians ruled the world, everyone would work 1 day a week and be about the pay. He shook his head. Then there's the British who thought there was something wrong with making money. No surprise they ended up kissing the colony's butt. The Japanese, they think the pinnacle of achievement is a government job. The Chinese are communists, the Germans are socialists, the Russians are broke. What does that leave? Canada? America, John said. The United Effin' States of America, the country founded on free market capitalism. I tell you, those founding fathers knew their crap. Hack was silent. So here's this Australian corporation. Here's this Australian company, John said, waving the brochure, doing the only Australians have competitive advantage in keeping their traps shut. Still, it makes our job easier, does it? Sure, it means we only have to kill Pearson. Oh, although when I say we... Hack dropped his head. It's in your contract, John said, page 8, a clause called logical extensions. Hack shook his head. Wildly. No, I can't do this again. Please, I can't. John sighed. Yeah? Mm-hmm. You sure? You're the worst GD assassin I've ever heard of. We wanted a nice little rampage, something we could write off as an employee gone postal if the government caught up with us. Neat and tidy, but no, you had to go and outsource, he sighed. Good people get the job done, Hack, no matter what. Remember that. Is this your apartment? Yes, Hack said. When they reached the top of the stairs, he fumbled for his keys. John reached out and stopped him. Knock first. We don't want John getting jumpy. Okay, he hoped John wasn't the sort to get jumpy. He hoped he hadn't explored the apartment. An eye appeared in the peephole. Hack? It was Violet's voice. He heard her unlocking. Hack, there's a man in here. Violet, it's okay. There's a guy with me too. It's all right. Silence. Hello? Who's that? John said. He tried to handle. That's not John. It's my girlfriend, Violet. Give me the keys, John said. He wrestled with the door. Finally, the door swung open. It was dark inside. John, you there, buddy? Violet. You go in first, John said. He pushed Hack forward. Hack moved lively, his hands out before him. He couldn't think why the lights would be out, and why Violet had answered the... John said, Ag. He turned. John was 2 steps behind him, and Violet had a long knife to his throat. She must have hidden behind the door. Violet, he's John Nike. Let him go. Girl, John said, you ought to let go of me right now. You really do. Hack, Violet said. Pack some clothes, we're leaving. She looked at him. Do it. Hack jolted into motion. He went into the bedroom and started pulling open drawers. He threw clothes into a bag and showed it to her. What about shoes? Hack, and get my computer. He grabbed some shoes from the bedroom closet and collected her notebook. When he emerged, she was patting down John's pockets. Violet, Hack said, I really think you're making a mistake. Go, she said, outside. She pulled a pistol from John's jacket and looked at him. That has sentimental value, John said. Violet pushed him into the living room. He regarded them from the darkness. Violet, is that your name? This is your last chance. If you do this, you'll regret it. I guarantee it. He held out his hand. Give me back my gun. She slammed the door. Hack followed her down the stairs and into the car park. What's going on? Where are we going? I think I killed a man, she said. Oh, Hack left with respectful silence. Now drive, she said, and he got in. 17. Bye. But I couldn't tell what color the walls were. The sounds of the crowd were dulled and thick. He kept realizing that this head was heading for the bar just before he reached it. I was very drunk. He was going down in flames. Spy hadn't been into work for almost a week. He'd arranged to leave a month ago, knowing that the last week of the financial year would leave him drained. Of course, he hadn't known just how true that would turn out to be. It was Wednesday night, and tomorrow Bai was meant to run up to Mitsui with a stain of dead girl on his soul, and he absolutely definitely was not ready for that. A woman at the bar was looking at him. He squinted at her, and she rose and came toward him. He tried to sit straighter on the stool. Hi, Bai said. When she didn't say anything else, he added, Can I buy you a drink? A Manhattan, please. He ordered the drink. I'm Bai Mitsui. Sandy John Hancock. You got life insurance? She laughed. I'm kidding. Are you a stockbroker? Yes, Bai said. He managed to discern a black skirt and a tight green top. I wanted to be a stockbroker once, but I didn't like the math. Do you have to know math? Sometimes, he said, even though the answer was no, not really. Thanks. He realized she wasn't talking to him. The barman was looking at him expectantly. He dug out the card from his wallet and fumbled it onto the bar. Points card? No, Bai had one, but didn't think he could find it. You should get one of those, Sandy said. I got one last year after they formed U.S. Alliance. I got a Team Advantage card, too. You earn so much free stuff. I don't need free stuff. You must be rich, are you? She laughed. I'm just kidding. I have unlimited Amex, but you have to be able to recite the numbers to use it. He felt his head dipping toward the bargain. Unlimited? Wow, so you could, buy a whole apartment on plastic. Bai said nothing. He tried to drain his glass, but nothing came out. He set it down on the bar as carefully as he could. Life insurance, he said, it doesn't actually protect your life, does it? It just gives you money for it. Well, life insurance is for your dependents, Sandy said, if you have any. Bai realized she was waiting for an answer. I don't. I find that hard to believe. He saw teeth. Bai said. The bar was swaying. Do you want to see my apartment? Does it have a view? He said. Yes, I'm just kidding, she said. Let's go. On the street, he asked. Have you ever done something generous for no reason? Sure, everybody has. Once I gave a girl $5,000. For no reason? Because she wanted it. You know, I want $5,000, Sandy laughed. I said nothing. What did she do? She died. She died? What, because you gave her money? I think so. You mean the one time you did something nice for no reason, the person died? Bai swayed, and she caught his arm. Let me help you, Sandy said. No, he said, but she did anyway. 18, Jennifer. It was hard to believe how far Kate could stow the contents of one school bag. Kate, Jennifer yelled, where have you put your drink bottle? It's on the TV. Why is it on the TV? She didn't really want to know. She'd spent 20 minutes trying to make sandwiches with one arm in the sling when she picked them up and all the cheese fell out. It was her first day back at work, and Jennifer was being thwarted by slippery condiments. Kate entered the kitchen carrying her school bag. It makes the reception better. Well, go get it, please. We're both late. Kate left. Jennifer wrapped the sandwiches and tucked them into the school bag. There were some papers crammed in there, and Jennifer pulled them out. Papers usually meant things she had to sign to avoid getting scammed by a school fundraising drive. Last year, she'd ended up with a crate of Barbie dolls to sell. They were still under the house. Mattel ran good schools, but the merchandising was killing her. The papers weren't about fundraising. It looked like Kate's schoolwork, a paper on penguins. There were drawings and writings and printouts and pictures from the internet. It looked pretty impressive to Jennifer. Kate re-entered. I've got it. What's this? What? Oh, a project. It's due today. It looks great. Really great. Well, I like penguins. Do you want a folder for it? It's going to get crushed if you take it in like this. Do we have folders? She looked at her watch. For you, I have folders. She led Kate into the study and rooted through her desk drawer. There was a government report on inner-city crime rates in a smart gray folder, and she tipped it out. How about this? Yeah. You know, we should put the pages behind plastic sheets, Jennifer said. They'll look snazzy. Mommy, you said we were late. A project this nice, Jennifer said, should be behind plastic sheets. Okay, Kate said, excited. She ran to get it. She was so late for work, she missed her own welcome-back party, which she was grateful for, since she'd been injured. Her answering machine had fielded 14 well wishes from colleagues. It wasn't totally about her, she knew. It was about Taylor, who had gone to work Friday morning and died in a shopping mall. Jennifer hadn't done anything except stay alive. But this was a big deal to agents, who had the highest death rate of any occupation except machine operators. There was an email waiting for her from legal about the suit for the Mercedes-Benz dealer whose car she'd fallen onto. It said, Dear Field Agent Jennifer, please justify which damage to the property in question. 1. Mercedes-Benz E420 sedan was unavoidable in the course of carrying out your duties. In particular, please specify 1. Whether you considered any alternative plans of action that would have led to the destruction of this property. 2. If so, why you did not pursue these alternative plans. 3. A statement about your mental state at the time. She had a lot of experience with allowing memos from legal to grow old and die in her box, but this one, she decided, deserved a response. She tapped out, the alternatives I considered were 1. Jumping under a passing bus. 2. Shooting myself in both legs. 3. Dragging some story out of the legal department. Out of the legal department and throwing them off the 3rd floor. I did not pursue the first 2 strategies because they did not guarantee me as much personal injury as landing on a Mercedes. I did not pursue the 3rd strategy because my mental state at the time must have been severely impaired. My God, Calvin said, entering. You're really back. How's the shoulder? Hi, she said, turning. Did you get Hack Nike? He dropped into a chair. Come on, Jen, this isn't Europe. I can't just get someone. You have no evidence. We have no budget. I asked you to. I assumed you were delirious, Calvin said. Look, anyway, I've been busy interviewing families, trying to scrounge up funding. So far, zip, and I'm down to the last couple. Who? He slid his chair over to the desk and shuffled some papers. Jim G.E. and Mary Shell, parents of Haley McDonald's, killed at, he looked up. Chadstone? Maybe you should sit this out. Don't coddle me, she said. I can run an interview. There was a knock on the door. A man stood in the doorway. His suit was so cheap it shone. Jennifer Government, he said. Maybe you think you're a comedian. Maybe you think this whole situation is funny. Who are you? Calvin said. Let me guess, Jennifer said. Legal? My department has a job to do, Jennifer. We're trying to defend your budget. We can do this without you sending us insulting replies. She said, Don't ask me why I chose to fall on a car and talk about being insulted, you crap. I'm wearing a sling here. He reddened. Well, we still need that information. It may not seem important to you, but this is a serious suit. She couldn't help it. She looked at his suit. I see, the lawyer said. It's all very amusing. Oh, look, Calvin said. We got the info you want. We have interviews to conduct now, okay? Fine, the lawyer said and left. What did you do to him? Nothing, she said. Go get Haley's parents. He left. She tried to push back her hair before remembering there wasn't anything left to push, just a crude dark shock. She missed her hair. Calvin led Haley's parents in and offered them seats. They were shy, clutching coffees and polystyrene cups. She stared at them. It was hard to forget that she'd seen their daughter shot. Calvin cleared his throat. She blinked. I'm Field Agent Jennifer Government. I'm very sorry for your loss. I'm not sure how familiar you are with government procedure in these circumstances. Mary looked lost. Jim said, You want money. Jennifer folded her hands on the desk. In order to pursue the perpetrators, we need funding. Yes, the government's budget only extends to preventing crime, not punishing it. For the retributive investigation, we can only proceed if we can obtain funding. She gave them a moment. I apologize for the question. Can you contribute? Mary shifted. Jim said, I've had a very bad 3 months. I lost my job. Silence. Calvin folded his arms. She played hockey, Mary said, then bit her lip. There were government agents at the ball, Jim said. His ears were red. If you had stopped those people then, we wouldn't be here. We did our best with the information we had, Calvin said. We're sorry, Jim. We lost an agent in this mess. Jennifer leaned forward. I was there at Chadstone. If anyone should have stopped them, it was me. His eyes darted to her sling. And now we want money. Yes. Silence. This wasn't some street shooting. No, we think it was planned. Then they'll be hard to catch. Yes. He nodded. He looked at Mary, then at his hands. Then he looked at Jennifer. Will you try? If I have the budget, I will get them. I promise you that. All right, he said, then I'll sell my house. The relief was frightening. Thank you, Jim. Jim, that was really bad form, Calvin said, closing the door. You know you're not meant to promise results. No investigation is a slam dunk. We have funding. She couldn't stop jiggling her leg. And don't smile like that, he said. What's the matter with you? You're freaking me out. Let's go pick up Hack, she said. 19, Billy. Someone was shaking him. Billy said. Quit it. Get up, someone said. We're leaving. He sat up. It was an NRA clone. Black t-shirt, camouflage pants, buzz cut, haircut. Too much time in the gym. Billy was having trouble telling them apart. Leaving where? There's a briefing in the mess. Get dressed and assemble there in 15. Yes, sir, Billy said. He had discovered that everyone was much more relaxed if you called them sir. He showered, standing under the water for too long. When he was done, he went back to his bunk and dressed in the crisp pants and t-shirt laid out for him. The t-shirt was black with a big NRA logo on the chest, an AK-47 crossed with a burly arm. Underneath it said, Freedom is an assault rifle. That was kind of catchy, Billy thought. The NRA was getting hip. There was a kid standing guard outside the barracks, and he snapped to attention. Billy attempted to salute, squinting in the sun. Good morning, sir, the kid said. His head was aimed so brutally it looked like someone had gouged his skull. I am informed that you may wish to visit briefing tent 4A, sir. Sure, okay. If you will accompany me, sir. Billy followed. The compound was like a mutant Boy Scout camp, all green tents and vehicles and barrels smack in the middle of nowhere. He saw a troop of soldiers drilling in a field. They reminded him of high school football players with guns. Then a tank rolled past. Crap, what's that? That's an Abrams M1A battle tank, sir. Billy looked around with new respect. Now he understood why the NRA membership fees were so high. The kid led him to a tent at the front of the camp, set back from a dusty road. He held open the flap for Billy. Inside, a dozen men looked up. Close the effing door, the man said at the front. He was the older man Billy had met in the bush. His name was Yalem. Mosquitoes like birds in this place. Yes, sir, Billy said. He squeezed out onto the end of the bench. Now we're all here, Yalem said. We depart camp in exactly 6 minutes. Our destination is Melbourne. Our target is an employee of the police, one senior sergeant person. We will eliminate the target quickly and quietly and return to base. Questions? A man at the front raised his hand. Weapons? Issued in flight. Anyone else? In flight, Billy thought. Yeah, a soldier said. What's with the FNG? Billy's a good man, Yolam said. He's been reassigned here after completing some classified action. All right, the guy said, nodding at Billy. Billy raised his eyebrows in return. Other questions? Billy became aware of a drone outside the tent. He looked around. All right, good luck, Godspeed. Straight shooting. The men began filing outside. Billy wondered if now was a good time to cut and run. The past few days he'd kept a low profile, but now it was sounding as if the NRA expected him to fight, and he definitely wasn't. A hand fell on his shoulder. You're probably wondering why you're being sent back into action so soon, Yolam said. The truth is, we were only assigned this action this morning. Command feels that moving you again might arouse suspicion. He held Billy's gaze. Maybe it's for the best. Get back on the horse. The drone had turned into a roar. I see. It's important that you integrate into the team like any other NRA soldier, Bill. Our enemies are looking for you. Now go join your squad. Yes, sir, Billy said. He pushed his way out to the tent flap, thinking, I am surrounded by maniacs, and he stopped. There was a green military transport aircraft straddling the road. Fat NRA logos adorned its sides. The noise from the engines was tremendous. The NRA squad was marching up a ramp into its belly. Bill, one of the soldiers shouted. Come on, move your butt. This is not skiing, Billy thought. He jogged toward the transport. 20, Hack. Hack woke to Violet moving about the bedroom, gathering clothes. He sat up, rubbing his face. What? I have to do my software demo. She was pulling on a short black skirt, already wearing a cream shirt. You knew this, Hack. Hack did know that, but aren't we going to go to the police or the government? She blew air through her teeth. You packed me one pair of underpants, and she shook her head. I don't have time to go to the government. You go. He bit his lip. You sure you don't want to come? Since, you killed that guy. You want me to defend myself against a murder charge with $200? But it was self-defense. It doesn't matter how much money. Don't be naive, Violet said. Look, if my demo goes well, I'll have money. Then I can talk to the government. I guess, Hack said. Okay, she hefted her laptop. Wish me luck. Good luck, and be careful, okay? I will, she said. Don't wake my sister. Hack padded out of the kitchen in his dressing gown and made a bowl of cereal. He couldn't find the sugar, so added some strange unbranded honey. He sat at the dining table and tried to eat quietly. Violet's sister had a lot of books. They filled 3 bookcases with bizarre titles like An Equal Society and Socialist Thought. Hack wondered what they were about. At 10 o'clock, he caught a cab downtown to the government office, which was a couple of floors in a dingy building that looked as if it hadn't been cleaned since 1980. The lobby was huge, though, and crawling with people in scruffy-looking suits who Hack could only assume were government agents. He felt like looking at them as he walked up to reception and started sweating. This wasn't like the police with magazines and nice-looking women dressed up in cop uniforms. The agent behind the desk was doing something in his computer. Hack waited patiently. After a while, he cleared his throat. Just a second, the agent said. Sorry he waited. All right, the agent looked him up and down. Who are you here to see? I don't know. I'm here because I mean, my girlfriend might have killed someone. You don't have an appointment? No, Hack said. See, there's a body in my kitchen. You're meant to call first, the agent said, to set up an appointment. We can't drop everything just because you walk in. Oh, sorry. The agent poked at his computer a bit more. Hack wondered if he should clear his throat again. The agent said, You sure this guy's dead? My girlfriend said she thought he was. Your girlfriend? Yep, she wasn't sure, but why didn't she make the appointment? Hack said, I don't know. I just wanted to report. Yeah, okay, look, the agent said. Take a seat. I'll try to find someone to talk to you about your alleged dead body. Maybe I should come back later, Hack said. Just sit down, the agent said. He sat on a hard wooden bench for 15 minutes. Then an agent came out and spoke to the desk guy. The desk guy gestured at Hack, and the other agent came over, scratching at his stubble. Hack, Nike? Yes. You found a dead body somewhere? Not exactly, Hack said. What happened was, yeah, okay, come with me. The agent led Hack down a lot of corridors and into a room that had a table with 2 chairs, and that was it. The walls were glass, and Hack could see agents in other offices moving around, glancing in at him. You want a coffee? No, thanks. Well, I need one. Hold tight. He left. Hack jiggled his leg, nervous. There were 2 agents in the office across the corridor, and one of them had a weird smudge underneath her left eye, like a rectangular bruise. No, a tattoo, a barcode tattoo. That was strange, Hack thought. The government was meant to be against all that consumer stuff. Okay, the agent said, entering. So about this body, he yawned. Well, he attacked my girlfriend, Hack said. I was out, and he tried to assault my girlfriend. She defended herself and hit him with a crumpet toaster. She thinks she killed him. A crumpet toaster? Yep. What is that? It's, like an electric toaster. You cook crumpets in it. It's better than broiling them. Huh, the agent said. Can you do bagels in that? No, Hack said. Bagels don't fit in the slots, but you can get bagel toasters, I think. How about that? The agent said. I had no idea. So anyway, Hack said, the barcode agent and her partner were in the corridor now, speaking to someone. The woman looked up and met Hack's eyes. She looked away quickly. It was self-defense and everything, but I think I should report it just in case. The agent rubbed his face. Hack, this is something your girlfriend will have to sort out with the deceased lawyers. Contact them, negotiate some sort of compensation. It's not a government matter unless you can't come to an agreement. Oh, Hack said, relieved. Okay, sure, I can do that. The door opened. The woman with the barcode tattoo and her partner were in the doorway. Hack, Nike, the woman said. He started, yes. What's up, Jen? The agent said. Out, she said, now. Her eyes were fixed on Hack. Hack realized it had happened. He had made another big mistake. The first agent left, and then nobody spoke. The woman across the table from him and her partner stood against the wall, his arms folded. Finally, Hack said, I just came in to report. Hack, Nike, I'm Jennifer Government Field Agent. This is Calvin Government Field Agent. We have information that you're responsible for the illegal initiation of deadly force against up to 14 persons at various Nike Town stores. Do you understand? Hack said. He felt his throat closing. No. Yes, Jennifer said. You arranged for the NRA to shoot a bunch of kids who bought Nike Mercuries. Some kind of promotion, right? Get out with your shoes alive and win a trip for 2? He felt faint. Wait, I want to call my girlfriend. She a lawyer, Hack? Calvin said. No, he couldn't make himself say unemployed. She'll know what to do. Sorry, Calvin, no girlfriends. Oh, and we're recording you, Jennifer said. The first guy told you that, right? Let me save you some time, Calvin said. We know you're a merchandising officer. We know you're eager for promotion. It sounded like a great idea at the time, right? Jennifer said. Kill a few kids, make a few bucks, back slaps all around at the office, and a bonus in your next paycheck, maybe tied to sales growth. $10,000, $50,000 more, plus a promotion, of course. You get out of merc work, into the creative stuff. White-collar gunner jobs are so repetitive, aren't they, Hack? And after a while, you go nuts. Stop, it wasn't my idea. I just did what they told me. Who? She said, leaning forward. Who, Hack? There were 2 of them. They made me who? He swallowed. I don't think I should tell you. Jennifer leaned back. She looked at Calvin. They could kill me, Hack whispered. If I tell you, I will take care of you. Calvin said, don't worry about that. You're going to have to tell us who they are, Hack. Jennifer said. I can't. They made me sign a contract without reading it. Made you? They used force? Hack was silent. No, she said. No force. So you voluntarily signed a contract without reading it. I know, that was a mistake. A mistake, Jennifer said, disgusted. You dumb crap. Why do you think anybody wants you to sign a contract without reading it? Because it's bad, Hack. It's a bad contract. We're going to need a copy of that, Calvin said. Hack dropped his eyes. I don't have one. Silence. When he looked up, they were staring at him. You don't understand. They offered me a job in marketing. He stopped, choked up. Hack, Jennifer said, leaning forward. It's time for you to make a decision. You can either help us go after the people responsible for the Nike slayings, which will expose you to whatever penalties are in that contract, Calvin said, and I'm guessing they're not that you have to bring the cups to the next company picnic, if you know what I mean, or you can keep your mouth shut, Jennifer said, which will expose you to us. I'd hate to land 14 counts of deadly force against someone who didn't deserve it. I really would. That's," he looked at Jennifer, "pretty much life, right?" "For sure. And the financial penalties, well, maybe you can negotiate to pay them off at 10 cents on the dollar, something like that. Plenty of crims do that. If you work hard, you can clear your debt in 20, 30 years. "I don't know, Jen," Calvin said. "Prison housing prices have really jumped lately. Some of these places you do 15 years labor and come out owing them for food and board. I guess in your case it would be academic in a way," Jennifer said to Hack, "since you would never get out." She leaned forward. "Think about it, Hack. A guy like you, reasonable skills, employable, suddenly you're laying tar in Utah for the rest of your life, and you know the safety record of prison workers. Only last month, those 8 guys in, where was it? Wichita Falls," Calvin said, "Texas. Although I think one of them made it. I mean, obviously he's all messed up from the scalding, but I think he's still alive. You can take freedom for granted, Hack," Jennifer said, "until you're living in a cell and you think you have to ask permission every time you want to take a crap, don't you think?" "Marketing guys," Hack whispered. "It was John and John from Guerrilla Marketing." Jennifer leaned forward. "John Nike, vice president?" He nodded dumbly. "Brown eyes, brown hair, flat face. John Nike?" "Yes." "Good boy, Hack," Calvin said. "You won't regret this." Jennifer dragged her chair closer to him. "Let's start from the beginning," she smiled. It was the first time Hack had seen her do that. She looked almost tender. "Tell me everything." 21. Violet. When Violet arrived at ExxonMobil building, they gave her a contractor badge which she pinned to her jacket lapel. Her escort was a kid in a white short-sleeved shirt and pants so cheap his knees reflected. Violet was disappointed. Geeks didn't dress that way anymore, or rather successful geeks didn't. Even Violet knew it was worth investing in impressive threads. "I heard about what you're doing," the kid said in the elevator. "It sounds pretty cool, but it won't work. 8 months ago, maybe, we had a whole bunch of attacks, denial of service, E-bombs, freaking, the works. The management gave us a ton of money to upgrade everything." He led her down a corridor and opened a door. Violet went in. There were computers and wires and crap everywhere. 4 men sat around the boardroom-sized table, all in front of keyboards except one who was therefore in charge. He was very large and didn't smile. "Violet," he extended his hand, "I'm Rendell ExxonMobil. This is my team. James, Peter, Socklane, Hunter." She nodded then. "If you don't mind, let's get started. We have 15 minutes before our next applicant." She took a seat at the thick table and snapped open her laptop case. The geeks slid their chairs inward, preparing to do battle. She powered on her laptop, snapped in an RJ45 connector. "Do you want to give me a login, or should I do it the hard way?" Rendell looked at Hunter, who was so thin it was like Rendell had been stealing his food. "An ordinary employee password? Yes, I'll spot you that. I can crack it if you want me to. It's trivial. That's why I'm asking." Hunter managed to sound gracious. "I'll ghost your machine. User is applicant 8. Pass is the same." Applications began streaming into Violet's laptop, transforming it into a standardized, centrally managed ExxonMobil PC. While she waited, she glanced at the beige box humming behind her. It had the dimensions and aesthetics of a refrigerator, a Hewlett-Packard Unix machine. "This is your server here? That's it. And we're isolated from the company network? We're safe enough. I strongly suggest you physically isolate this room from the rest of the network." They locked eyes for a while. She had to resist a sigh. Violet wasn't interested in comparing with skinny geeks. "Unplug it," Rendell said. The kid, James, crawled under the desk. "Okay, got it. Buckle up," Violet said, and logged in. There was a little icon on her desktop called Fizz in the shape of a soda can. She clicked it. The machine said, "Bing!" A window appeared. "McAfee antivirus. Warning, McAfee has detected a possible virus on your computer. Virus type unknown. Files infected. Fizz.x. Delete figs. Ignore." "Game over," Hunter said across the table, pushing back his chair. "Sorry you're dead, Violet. Thanks for playing." "You shouldn't have let him ghost your machine," James said. He was looking over her shoulder. "He installed our virus checker." She looked at her screen a while longer. When the network activity stopped, she closed the lid and rested her elbows on the table. "And not only did we bust your virus," Hunter said, "but we got a copy of its signature, so we can spot it if it shows up anywhere else. Your history." Violet glanced at the hub, a squat plastic box routing traffic between the server and the PCs. Its green lights were flashing. "So my virus is getting transmitted to the server." "No, not your virus. Its signature. Big difference." The hub's lights were increasingly active. The geeks eyed it. "Flash, flash, flash, flash," Violet said. "Then your server transmits my virus to the checkers on every PC, right?" "No, no, no." Hunter's eyes flicked to the tab. "Virus checkers don't store actual viruses. They store patterns." "My virus checker is updating," one of the other geeks said. "Mine too." "It's meant to," Hunter said. "Be cool, guys. It's inoculating us." "You have a lot of faith in your checker," Violet said, "for a product with buffer overrun issues." Hunter stared. "Last chance," she said. There was a small noise, and to anyone but tech heads hardly noticeable, from each PC. Crap, Saklen said. Disk activity. Me too. The machines crashed together. The geeks stared at dark screens. Each computer beeped simultaneously, rebooting. Violet knew that they were looking at now, a screen that said, boot disk failure, insert system disk. This meant that either someone had unscrewed each computer and removed the hard drive, or the disks had been trashed so thoroughly the computers couldn't tell if they were still there. She wiped the master boot record. Did you go through the virus checker? Saklen asked, astounded. Did you send a worm through the virus checker? She swiveled her chair to see the lights on the HP server lock up. When that was done, she turned to Rindle. Interested? Rindle looked from his server to his dead PCs. It could have been your whole company, Violet said, not just this room. You tell me, how vulnerable do you want to be? Whoa, Hunter said. You know I hate to ruin the party, but we don't need to buy anything from you. I can recover this thing. 2 seconds of disk activity, it'll be somewhere. Whatever you can recover from those drives, she said, you're welcome to. Silence. Rindle lifted his chin. James, cancel our other applicants, please. 22. Bye. I woke up feeling like someone had rearranged his intestines. He staggered into the bathroom. On the mirror, in red lipstick, was, Hope you're feeling better, sleepyhead. Call me, Sandy. He sank to the cool tiles. I didn't think he'd be calling Sandy John Hancock. He crawled into the shower instead. This was not going to be a good day. He arrived at Mitsui very late, which for a stockbroker was not just improper but obscene. The stock markets had been 24-hour for several years now, and Hamish would be angrily waiting for Vi to relieve him. The elevator doors opened and he walked between the cubicles. Hamish jumped to his feet, snapping closed his briefcase. Sorry, Hamish, that's all right. He was looking at Vi coolly. His whole reaction was odd. They told me what happened. You don't even have to be here. We can get a temp. No, I'm fine. You sure? Yeah. Okay, well, good luck. Vi watched Hamish leave, then sat down. He felt his eyes watching him and turned. Suddenly a lot of brokers were frowning at their screens and flicking lint off their pants. He turned back to his screen. He looked at it for a long time. Something was wrong, but he didn't know what. He clicked through a few pages of overnight financial summaries, but kept losing focus on the screen. His attention was drifting back to Friday night. His phone rang, and he looked at it, abruptly frightened. He didn't want to answer it. He felt sweat on his forehead. Brokers burned out sometimes. Everyone knew somebody who had derailed. It was a terrifying idea that you could lose motivation to keep going. That everything that used to define and sustain you could collapse into meaninglessness. An hour later, Vi felt a hand on his shoulder. He was staring into space. It was Cameron. Want to talk? He'd only been inside Cameron's fishbowl office a couple of times. Everyone outside could see you, so you knew they were speculating about you, not the office for a paranoid. Vi decided. You don't have to be here today, Cameron said. You know that, right? I don't get paid if I'm not. Cameron shrugged. Even so, Vi said, I'm fine. How many trades have you made this morning? But I was pretty sure the computer on Cameron's desk could answer that question. He was pretty sure it already had none. I'm going to help you now, Cameron said. All right? I've heard a whisper that ExxonMobil could be the target of a takeover. Exmo? The word is that Shell likes the idea of Exmo up at 47. He thought. Shell is half Exmo's size. That can't be true. I think it is, Vi considered. This was a huge tip, even more valuable than the NRA information Sammy had given him. If he remembered right, Exmo was trading around 31. Cameron was offering him $16 a share. Then thanks. Thank me by making trades. You're a good broker, Vi. Don't let yourself get thrown. I won't. Good. Now get out of here and trade. He left the office and walked down the staircase, trying to ignore the eyes on him. He sat down and clicked for the latest Exmo price. It was even lower than he thought, just above 30. He picked up the phone handset. The dial tone hummed in his ear. His hand shook. He felt sweat on his forehead. He tried to force himself to focus on what was important. $17 a share. $17 a share. After a while, he put the phone down. His fingers felt like ice. He could feel it in his gut. It had happened. He had burned out. Vi had lost it. 23. Jennifer. She requested an arrest warrant right away, but that was wishful thinking. She was in her car with Calvin when Elise, her boss, radioed. What's this application? Are you trying to create paperwork? No, Elise, Jennifer said. We have reason to believe John Nike because one suspect says so. You need more than that, right? But we're going to interview this police officer and we'll get him to confirm meeting with John Nike. Then So talk to me after that, right? Right, Jennifer said and hung up the radio. Crap. Well, it was worth a shot, Calvin said. Hey, you know who works around here? That Mitsui stockbroker. Want to interview him? Yeah, sure. He changed lanes. So where do you know John Nike from? She blinked. What? The way you reacted in the interview room, it seemed like you knew him. Oh, she said. I've dealt with him before. When? Hey, she said. Here's a question for you. Apparently someone told the hospital shrink I'm not interested in dating anymore. Any idea who that was? Calvin said. I might have said you hadn't dated in a while. He glanced at her. I was just trying to help. I date plenty, she said. Okay, fine. I do, she said. I wasn't arguing. I've been busy, that's all. The radio said, Unit 339, come back. Jennifer picked up. 339. It's Gary. We're at that apartment you wanted us to check out. Hack Nikes, there's no dead body here. She looked at Calvin. He shrugged. You sure? You want us to start cutting up furniture? No, she didn't have the budget to replace furniture. Any sign of a struggle? The bed's unmade. In the kitchen. There's meant to be a dead man in the kitchen. The kitchen's spotless. It's the cleanest room in the apartment. Okay, thanks. She hung up the radio. Calvin said, You think Hack lied to us? He never said he saw the body. He said his girlfriend told him it was there, this Violet. So either Hack's lying or Violet's lying, or John Nike cleaned up the scene. Calvin said. I'll take door number 3. Crap, she said, that a-hole. Calvin looked at her. What? So where did you say you knew John Nike from? Why does it matter? I'm trying to work out why this case is so important to you. Why you won't take time off even though he killed 14 people. Isn't that enough to explain the look you get? No, I don't have a look. Now you're getting irritable, Calvin said. I think you used to work with him before you joined the government, and I think your mysterious source is someone you used to work with too. Jennifer pressed her fingers to her temples. I've never worked for Nike, okay? Now drop it. Calvin said. Well, you sure didn't get that tattoo in the government. Bai Mitsui took a long time to come down. Jennifer amused herself by reading the wall hangings. There were case studies up there with pictures of suits shaking hands under headlines like Mitsui and Reebok float debuts up 118%. It reminded her of the photos they had in casinos. Elderly couples in front of slot machines with impossible readouts. Jackpot. I'm Bai, a man said, and she turned. He was tall and good-looking, which surprised her. It had been a while since she dated Jennifer Government. Thanks for your time. I thought I'd been through this at the mall. I don't see why. Calvin said. Somewhere we can talk? His shoulders dropped. There's a room through here. They followed him. The meeting room was big and tastefully lit. The chairs heavy and wooden. There was nothing like this in the government. Nice digs. Our business sells intangibles, Bai said. He took a seat opposite her. Nothing you can touch, so we like to appear very... He knocked on a table. Rich? Solid. He smiled, but it was a strange, disconnected smile. It worried Jennifer a little. Bai Mitsui was not running on all cylinders. Calvin flipped open his notepad. You were at the Chadstone Walmart Mall last Friday? Yes, but you didn't see anything? I got there too late. The girl, she... Take your time, Jennifer said. I'm sorry, I'm not... The girl died. I couldn't help her. I tried. You didn't see who shot her? I didn't see anything. I told the government people this last Friday. Right, Calvin said, flipping some more. You gave the girl some money? Why was that? I wanted to. But you never met her before? No. Calvin paused. He was waiting for her to come in. Jennifer knew to run a flanking formation to squeeze from the other side. Instead, she said, I was there that night. Bai's eyebrows rose. At Chadstone? They peeled me off the top of a Mercedes. His eyes widened. Then he laughed. I'm sorry. I didn't recognize you. You are much improved. She looked down a little flustered. I'm a pretty effing strange coincidence, you giving Haley money to buy the shoes she was killed for, don't you think? She regretted the words immediately. Bai's face fell. I wish more than anything I had never met her. Calvin said, Did you see any of the assailants that night? No. Anyone who looked suspicious at all? No. Silence. So the only suspicious thing you saw that night was yourself, is that right? I suppose so. Calvin looked at her. She nodded. All right, he said. Then we're done for now. Jennifer stood. Bai was staring at the tabletop. On impulse, she sat again. Hey, she said. He looked up. I understand how you feel. He said nothing. She slid her card across the table to him. If there's anything else, call me, all right? He nodded wordlessly, looking at the card. She touched his hand across the table, then they left, passing through the lobby and exiting to bright sunshine. The door wheezed pneumatically behind them. Gee, Jennifer Government, Calvin said finally. There may be hope for you yet. Oh, shut up, she said. Let's talk to Pearson. 24. Billy. Billy NRA's plan was very simple. The second he could, he was going to run like H. The longer the charade continued, the more effed up things were getting. The inside of the plane had not seats, but benches and straps, and when they were in the air, instead of getting peanuts and cokes with too much ice, they were getting Vector R4 assault rifles. It was the heaviest gun Billy had ever held. That somebody thought he might need it scared the crap out of him. They landed somewhere rural and piled out of the plane and into the back of 2 Ryder rental trucks. More benches and straps. There was some chatter, none of it making much sense, and Billy stared at his black boots. He's starting to think he'd be better off if he were still lost in the bush. The truck idled for 2 hours, then took off with such a start that Billy felt into the guy next to him. Sorry, Billy said, and the guy said, You're right, buddy. Billy was not right. He was not right at all. The squad leader pulled himself to his feet. We are now at T-minus 2 minutes. Our primary objective when we reach the target is to maintain a safe operating perimeter. inside of which Team B will operate. Is this clear? Yes, sir, the men shouted. Billy didn't shout anything, but the word perimeter was the most interesting thing he had heard all day. The truck slowed, then stopped. The leader cracked open its doors and peered out while everybody else sat tight, fingering their vectors. It was becoming clear to Billy there was going to be some fairly serious law-breaking going on there. Go, 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 the leader said, and threw open the doors. Billy immediately saw two things. First, they were on a leafy, reasonably urban street. And second, someone was about to have a very bad traffic accident. The car was a late model Ford, and the second rider truck plowed into it, catching its rear. The Ford made two full smoking tire revolutions that bit itself around a telephone pole. Move, someone yelled, and Billy realized he was gaping at it like an idiot. Some of the NRA soldiers were running toward the wrecked car, keeping low as if they expected the guy inside to jump out with guns blazing. The two others were carrying something from the second rider truck, something like the jaws of life. The gorgeous group of soldiers were dragging metal barriers across the south side of the road. Billy started jogging north. Hey, you, south side, south side. I'll cover the north, he yelled back. Just gonna check it out. He heard footsteps behind him. He put on a burst of speed. But with the Vector, it was like trying to run out with a motorcycle around his neck. A soldier grabbed his arm. He was a young guy, like Billy, but without the terror. What's the matter, south side, man? Dude, I really have to go, Billy said. No offense, but behind him the jaws of life screeched. Billy jumped. NRA guys were tearing into the Ford and what was left of it. For the first time, Billy noticed the police insignia on its side. He saw someone moving inside it. Elam's going to hear about this. Now get your back to the perimeter. Look, this is all a big mistake, he said, and then there were shots and Billy hit the deck. He raised his head. The young soldier was looking down at him contemptuously. The NRA soldiers were jogging away from the smashed board, holstering weapons. Billy realized they'd just accomplished their mission. He felt sick. Hostiles from the south. Hostiles inbound. Come on, they need us. The young soldier ran back toward the line of soldiers. No thanks, Billy said. He got to his feet. See you later, man. Three dark blue cars crested the hill. They were fast and low and had some kind of rotary cannon set into the hoods. He vaguely recollected seeing them in the police TV advertisements. The NRA soldiers opened fire. Then the police car cannons clamored, and suddenly there were bullets everywhere, bouncing off the cars, chewing up the road, and passing much too close to Billy's body. F, said one of the Jaws of Life guys yelled. He was running to the second rider. It struck Billy as a good idea, too. He jumped into the back of it with the Jaws guy and two other sweaty NRA soldiers. Inside, bullets like a hailstorm beat against the truck's side, creating alarming indentations. Someone up front revved the engine, and the vehicle lunged forward. Team A, come back, the Jaws guy said into his radio. Team A's gone, man, the soldier said. Those cop cars, they annihilated us. They can't get past the blockade, the Jaws guy said. You'll have to go around to do a full block. We've got maybe 90 seconds to lose them. Billy decided he was going to stick close to the Jaws guy. This time knew he was doing. The truck bounced and lurched. Billy clutched to the strap. Then he felt them slowing. The Jaws guy said, "What's going on? Don't ask me," Billy said. The man was talking to his radio. The radio said something like, "Right," the Jaws guy said. He looked at the rest of them. "Okay, now we have a problem."